Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're on a farm that we just put a new rock skirt on, and this one doesn't have a pipe in the dam. And so what we were doing is just running a wire around the edge, and it worked pretty good as long as the ground was dry. But when it was wet, they were chewing the banks up pretty good. And so this is what we went to. These skirts, we love them. They're 20 feet wide. And they come out from the ground all the way out to the end. They're about 16, 18 feet long. And you can see the base out there. They're 8 to 12 inch rock. And then we put the 2 inch rock down as a finish for the cows to walk on. And so just a little news on this farm. We are standing on what we call Jack's farm. We've had this one leased since 2001. And Jack, we always had a really good relationship with Jack and him and Dulaine. And anyway, Jack passed away last year.
Last summer.
And one of his dying, I think it was one of his few requests he asked his daughter and his son was that when he passed, that they give Greg and Jan first chance, whatever, at buying this farm. And so that happened. We closed on it about 2.5-3 weeks ago. And since we've done that, we've already got the lime. Now that we own it, we knew it was a city. I took soil samples on it even before I closed on it. And the pH on these hillsides up here were about 5.8. I think there was a couple samples down to 5.2. And then it's got a really nice bottom down here. You can't see it from here, but there's 25 acres of bottom. The whole farm they call it 65 acres. And it's got another 20 up on the hill over there. We call those our honey holes for deer hunting. Super good cover, a lot of brush, cedars, and so it holds a lot of deer and turkey. But this is our better pasture from the creek out to the road. So we've got about a little over 1/4 mile of road frontage here. It's got a water line on it. It's got this really nice pond on it. And so we looked at it and it fits in with our lifetime lease. So our lifetime lease owner owns on 2 sides of us now. So this piece of ground squared out this whole section. And so we've got it. And you know, you sit back and think, well, land's awful high today, and it is. It's extremely high.
Compared to
when, yeah. Jan and I were talking about the other day on Judy Farm. The first one I bought, well, the second one I bought in 1991, that was $400 an acre. And I'm like, man, you wish you just bought all you could have bought. But, you know, back in that day, $400, that was a lot of money. And, but anyway, hindsight is 20/20. But we got it, and so we put the lime down. I only put fertilizer because it's so high. We took tests on it. It was super low in phosphorus. Didn't hardly have any. We put some phosphorus and some potassium down on the hillsides. We didn't put anything on the rest of the farm. The rest of it just got lime. So we're anxious to unroll some hay on it this winter and jumpstart and get that soil biology going. But, you know, we had a lease from Jack, and, you know, we knew he was elderly, and him and Dulaine, we didn't know what the history of this farm was going to be for the future. And so you don't want to really go invest a lot of money in property if you don't know you're going to have it the next year. It's not very wise doing that.
But we ran cattle, and we took care of it. We kept the fence lines clean.
Kept the brush off the fields. Mowed it. Jack, every time I mowed it, I'd send him a picture of it. And I'd mow it in about, end of August, mid-August. And it did. It looked like a plantation. It was beautiful. And he appreciated that. And
then they would come out and drive by it. Since it said the road frontage, they really couldn't get out and walk on the property.
Yep. Early on, Jack did. He helped us cut and burn brush. And he was in his element when he was outside working. I mean, he really enjoyed it. But yeah, Jack was a neat guy. He was in the service. He made a career out of it. I think he was in there 25 or 27 years, and so he retired. And of course, he had a service pension, and
And he did a lot of stuff with veterans after
a lot of stuff.
We got
he was volunteer policeman.
Yeah.
He would ride with the police at night. That volunteer, what do they call it? Neighborhood watch. That's what it was. But just a super neat good dude. This is the pond that Isaac and I came fishing in last Sunday, and we took out 9 in here that were probably, I don't know.
9 what?
Bass, 2.5, 3 pounders. There's some really good bluegill in here. There used to be a lot of channel cat in here, but I think the channel cat have stopped reproducing because the bass got big and started eating them. But it's really nice bass and bluegill. So, and it's not a lot of vegetation. We'll probably still kick maybe a couple grass carp in here just to work on stuff like that. It's amazing, folks, how fast grass carp grow. It's just unbelievable. So anyway, we just wanted to make that announcement. We've got our eyes on land that we've had leased a long time, and some of the owners are getting older. And now that we're in a position where, we don't have to take a loan out to buy land, just, we can buy it. I'm going to do that if we have that opportunity, especially land that we've been having management over. We've improved it. We kind of put our life and our blood into it and our sweat. And now it's kind of, it's part of our rotation. So it works real nice to be able to keep those farms. We've been able to do that now with Marshalls and Jack's. Mm-hmm. And we don't need to talk about the others just right now.
Yeah, well, we don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know what's going to happen. That's right. But Jack had a great big, when he bought this, we don't need to walk over and look at it. There's a great big metal yard over here. The previous owner, he collected lots of metal. It's just old metal. And so we're going to get one of those big dumpsters that you can rent. We're going to set it up here by the dam and take our grapples on a tractor and just start getting rid of all that metal. And that was something that Jack always wanted to do. We just, you get busy on the farm, you can't get everything done, but we're going to get all that metal out there. And metal prices are pretty good right now for scrap. It's not doing us any good back behind that dam.
And what else are we doing? We talked to Drew.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. So we've already got the pipe. Drew picked that up. We've got all the fittings. We're going to run an 1.25 inch line from public water, which we already have hooked up over here on the next farm, and we can tee into that. We're going to bring some water in here. We're going to bury it 24 to 30 inches deep. Right now we've got an above ground line. We've been using that for 21 years, and it works great in the spring and the summer and the fall. We can never ever winter cattle on this farm because we don't have water. That above ground line will freeze. And of course we didn't have this. This is going to be nice too.
Right.
This winter. Well, you don't want to bring cattle on a pond like this in the winter where it's really steep. They'll just chew your damn all to pieces. But anyway, we're going to be getting that started. We're using Filmac, the Filmac fittings from Powerflex. And then you've got to make sure you get the right pipe. And anyway, Drew's the plumber. He's our buddy.
A fellow grazer.
We like working with Drew, and we got Drew some work up in North Missouri on another farm. I like the way that he does work, so we're going to have him do this one. So we're going to put couplers about every 600 feet down on the ground. They work like an air hose. So when you plug your water in, you automatically get water to your stock tank. And
now we'll be able to go down the hill to the bottom.
Yep, down the hill.
And we don't have to just count on that creek or gravity flow from above.
Well, it wasn't gravity flow from above. That was pressurized.
Yeah, that was pressurized.
But we're going to have a bigger pipe. We're going to be using 1.25 inches, and we were using 3/4.
Okay.
So we're going to be able to deliver more than double the water.
Okay.
So that's going to be huge.
Well, yeah, that will be very interesting.
Yep.
Change some of our grazing practices then.
Yeah, we can get them. You have more water points out there. You don't need a very big tank. You can increase your stocking density. The less distance an animal has to walk to water, the smaller tank you can use. Because you're only going to have maybe 2 or 3 drinking, 2 or 3 walking to get a drink, and 2 or 3 walking back from drinking. If you make them walk a long distance, you're going to have the whole herd come in. And you do, you got to have a bigger water pump.
Right. So I apologize, folks. I get my fingers in the pictures, but I'm trying to cup the phone so we don't, trying to reduce the wind in that. But today is 9/11.
Yep, it is. That was my mom's birthday.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember that. And it wasn't a very good birthday that one year that happened. But, you know, it's history, and we all hope something like that never happens again. And I want to have a hats off to all of our veterans out there serving and sacrificing and taking time out of their life and their family, away from their family, for, you know, protecting our country. And yeah, thank you guys and ladies. Appreciate that. I want to give a big kudos to everybody that came to our grazing school. That's why I'm a little bit hoarse. We had a great time, a great group of people.
It was the beginning, but they all went home with nuggets of information.
Yep. Great group of people, and so much networking going on there.
Yes.
A lot of networking.
Yes.
So when we got some information, or some new news coming out, I'm not going to announce it, but it's going to be pretty awesome. And it all started at this school. There was a young man that talked about doing something. So that's going to be coming up too. Folks, I'm going to get out of here. Everyone have a good one. Hit that subscribe button on the way out, and we'll see you down the road.